been a huge fan of Marty Robbins all these years, you know, and he was one of my heroes. And growing up, because he could do any kind of music, you know. Ralph Emery would always like to tell his Marty stories, you know, and I always, he'd hate to see me coming because I'd always egg him on to tell me something, you know. And we were on Nashville Now many times, and we just were, you know, he was so supportive of us, and Michael Martin Murphey, Red Steagall, Waddy Mitchell, Sons of the San Joaquin, all of us with the Western music, you know. And a lot of people said, you know, it was country and Western at one point in time. You know, it really was. And but Marty was about the only Westerns, you know, that could go bounce around any way you wanted to. And he loved that because he wanted to be Gene Autry, you know, another version, you know. And he was too late and I was too late, so that was the end of that, you know. But the Western became country and Western, then it became country hyphenated Western, and then it became neither of either. And there was a resurgence in the Western field, and of course a lot of the traditional type country music and old time music and so forth had made a comeback. And I was singing this particular song I'd like to sing for you is one Marty wrote, and it goes back to April 7th here. He recorded it here on what they called the El Paso sessions. And of course, El Paso was a huge song, and I was always really taken with how much Marty knew about it, because he was interviewed by I think Country Song Roundup or one of the magazines, you know, and they lump everything into one category and they call it country, you know what I mean? And they so by doing that, Marty just jumped right in on the as she started to talk about it, and he said, "No, this is a narrative ballad." And she kind of looked at him with a blank stare, you know what I mean? But he knew exactly what he was talking about. He said, "No, it's not like one of my country songs." He said, "This is a ballad from a story from beginning to end." And but he wrote a lot of those kind, and I'd like to sing one for you if I could. I was but a young man, wild and full of fire, a youth within my teens and full of challenge and desire. Ran away from home and left my mother and my dad. Grieved them so to think their only boy was bad. I fell in with an outlaw band, the names are known quite well. How many times we'd robbed and plundered I could never tell. This kind of sinful living will lead only to a fall. Learned that much and more the night I heard my master call. One night we rustled cattle, 1,000 head or so. Started them out on the trail that leads to Mexico. Northers started blowing, lightning flashed about. I thought someone was calling me, I thought I heard a shout. And at that moment lightning struck not 20 yards from me, and left there was a giant cross where once there was a tree. This time I knew I'd heard a voice so sweet and plain, voice that came from everywhere, a voice that called my name. So frightened I was thinking of the sinful deeds I'd done, I failed to see the 1,000 head of cattle start to run. The cattle all stampeded and were running all around. My pony ran but stumbled and he threw me to the ground. I thought the end was nearing, that death would be the price, when a mighty bolt of lightning showed the face of Jesus Christ. And I cried, "Oh Lord, forgive me, don't let it happen now. I want to live for you alone, and God, these words I vow." My wicked life unfolded and I thought of wasted years, as another bolt of lightning killed 100 head of steers. The others rushed on by me, I was left to live. The master had a reason, life was his to take or give. A miracle performed that night, I wasn't meant to die. The dead ones formed a barricade at least 6 or 7 high, and right behind it there was I, afraid but safe and sound. Cried and begged for mercy, kneeling there upon the ground. A pardon I was granted, my sinful soul set free. No more to fear the angry waves upon life's stormy sea. Forgiven by the love of God, a love that will remain. I gave my life and soul the night the Savior called my name. I gave my life and soul the night the Savior called my name.
We're traveling down two different roads in worlds so far apart. You want me, yet there's something else before me in your heart. You wanting me to change my life the way you live your own. Oh, but either take me like I am, or I'll go on alone. Either say you want my love, or take the way you live. Remember though, before you get, you've got to learn to give. So if it's changed my life or go, then go it's gonna be. 'Cause I can't change my life when you want something more than me. Oh, pick it now. Well, we're traveling down two different roads in worlds so far apart. You want me, yet there's something else before me in your heart. You wanting me to change my life the way you live your own. But I can't change my life, and I'll go on alone. Yeah, I'll go on alone. Well, it was something like that.
Yeah, I'd like to do this. And Marty, if you're listening, keep your fingers crossed for me. Hope you folks like it. One call, you gave me a mountain. Born in the heat of the desert, my mother died giving me life. Deprived of the love of a father, blamed for the loss of his wife. You know, Lord, I've been in a prison for something that I've never done. It's been one hill after another, and I climbed them all one by one. But this time you gave me a mountain, that I may never climb. And it isn't downhill any longer. You gave me a mountain this time. My woman got tired of the hardships, tired of the grief and the strife, so tired of working for nothing
took my pride and my joy. She took my reason for living. Oh, she took my small baby boy. So this time you gave me a mountain, that I may never climb. And it isn't a hill any longer. You gave me a mountain this time. You gave me a mountain this
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Nighttime would find me in Rose's cantina. Music would play and Felina would whirl. Blacker than night were the eyes of Felina, wicked and evil while casting a spell. My love was deep for this Mexican maiden. I was in love, but in vain I could tell. One night a wild young cowboy came in, wild as the West Texas wind. Dashing and daring, a drink he was sharing with wicked Felina, the girl that I love. So in anger I challenged his right for the love of this maiden. Down went his hand for the gun that he wore. My challenge was answered in less than a heartbeat. The handsome young stranger lay dead on the floor. Just for a moment I stood there in silence, shocked by the foul evil deed I had done. Many thoughts raced through my mind as I stood there. I had but one chance, and that was to run. Out through the back door of Roses I ran, out where the horses were tied. I caught a good one, it looked like it could run. Up on its back and away I did ride, just as fast as I could from the West Texas town of El Paso out to the Badlands of New Mexico. Back in El Paso my life would be worthless. Everything's gone in life, nothing is left. It's been so long since I've seen the young maiden. My love is stronger than my fear of death. I saddled up and away I did go, riding alone in the dark. Maybe tomorrow a bullet will find me. Tonight tonight nothing's worse than this pain in my throat. And at last here I am on the hill overlooking El Paso. I can see Rose's cantina below. My love is strong and it pushes me onward. Down off the hill to Felina I go. Off to my right I see 3 mounted cowboys. Off to my left, right, a couple or more. Shouting and shooting, I can't let them catch me. I have to make it to Rose's back door. Something is dreadfully wrong, for I feel the burning pain in my side. Though I am trying to stay in the saddle, I'm getting weary, unable to ride. But my love for Felina is strong, and I rise where I've fallen. Though I am weary, I can't stop to rest. I see the white puff of smoke from the rifle. I feel the bullet go deep in my chest. From out of nowhere, Felina has found me, kissing my cheek as she kneels by my side. Cradled by 2 loving arms that I'll die for. One little kiss and Felina, good.